Hey, it's Joshua Vergara. What's going on, everybody? I have a question for you. When you travel, like I am right now, I'm in a hotel room in San Francisco right now. Do you have Bluetooth speakers that you use for specific purposes, travel included? And by that I mean, do you have a large Bluetooth speaker that you have in your home? Maybe you have one in your office, maybe you use something like a Google Home, or do you have one that you use during travel for situations like, say, in the shower? I do too, but on this trip I decided to leave it home because I have a pair of truly wireless Bluetooth earbuds that I wanted to try out. I've been using them for a little while now, but this was the context that I really wanted to use them in. These are the xFyro XS2, and these are truly wireless, waterproof Bluetooth earbuds. First, let's rewind to when I first got into this hotel room this morning. Alright, so one of the main situations where these types of earphones really come into play is travel. And I'm in a hotel right now in San Francisco. Clearly I'm traveling today, so I did use these on the plane. And it was a 1-hour flight from LA to San Francisco, and I think they did just fine. Obviously the battery life was more than enough for a 1-hour flight, but I will admit that they could be a little bit louder, especially in the sense of blocking out the sounds inside of an airplane, which is a very loud environment, and you just want to be able to drown it all out with the music. The sound coming out of these earbuds is not spectacular. There's nothing separating these from other Bluetooth wireless earbuds on the market today. Right out of the box, I found that the EQ was pretty flat. It could have used more bass and the highs could be a bit clearer. But what's nice about this flat EQ is that if you have an audio player that gives you customization options, it can make a world of difference. In the Galaxy Note 9, I went into the sound settings and I turned on Dolby Atmos enhancements and then messed with the EQ so that I can get that better bass and I can get clearer highs. But one thing I do really like is this case. The earphones can be inserted into either side because it has a fairly symmetrical design to it. It feels really sturdy. This is not a case that I've seen in nature to a lot of other truly wireless earbuds. There's like a premium feel to this, and it actually has an extra feature to it. There's actually an output on here that you can use in order to charge other devices. The capacity of the battery is not all that high, but it is something that you can use if you really need it. It's like an emergency power bank. But otherwise, the case is pretty nice. I could kind of toss it around and it doesn't seem like the earbuds are going to just pop out at any point. If you have it in a bag and there are other objects that might sort of nudge them out of place, that might pop the earphones out, but I haven't had that happen at all. It is lacking in a couple of advanced features that you see in other truly wireless earbuds. For example, when you take the earbud out of the case, it doesn't turn on automatically. You have to put the earphone in and then turn it on, and then it's at that point that it will start connecting to your paired smartphone. The opposite is true too. If you were to take out the earbud and put it into the case, it would still keep playing. So you have to be wary of that and turn it off and then put it back into the case when the time comes. You can pick either earbud to be the master earbud, while the other one is the secondary that you can have just in the case if you don't want to have both ears in. Normally I would like that feature, but the way xFyro implements it is a bit odd. You have to go into the Bluetooth settings and unpair the original earbud if you want to switch to the other one. That in and of itself is already an extra step, but then you have to recalibrate the two earbuds so that the master earbud knows which other one is the secondary. That's a bit of a process that involves some resetting, some holding of the power button, blah blah blah. It can get pretty troublesome, so I guess if you pick one as the master earbud, just leave that one as the master and the other one as the secondary. The xFyros did a pretty good job. One thing that did happen here, and it's about to do with the design of the xFyros, is that there are no real wingtips to these, so it's a little bit hard to keep them in the ears. So if you jog or sprint or anything like that and they're not perfectly in your ears, they might fall out. And it didn't happen during this workout, even though I was on the treadmill for like a solid half hour. But for other people whose ears might be maybe not the perfect size for this kind of thing, I feel like these are made perfectly for average sized ears like mine. Then they'll work fine, but otherwise they might fall out once in a while. But now it's time to get into the main usage that I have for these, and that is in the shower. So remember when I said during gym sessions or workout sessions, they didn't fall out of my ear? Well, I guess I didn't sweat enough, because in shower situations, when there's enough water that seeps into the space between the earbud and your ear, it's enough to dislodge it if it gets like nicked, or just eventually it's just gonna pop right out. That's definitely what happened in the shower, and it fell down. So make sure that your drain has some sort of grate on top of it so you don't lose one of these. To be fair, that's not something that has happened every single time I have used these in the last couple of weeks, but what has happened pretty much every experience is after the shower, when I'm toweling my hair and whatnot, because of the ruffling that's happening, these just pop right out without fail. There should have been at least comply tips or soft foam tips that conform to the shape of one's ear canal. That way it's harder for them to dislodge or to get just sort of sucked out because of the amount of moisture that might be between it and your ear. But all in all, they're fun to have in the shower. They're a different experience from having a Bluetooth speaker in that situation, or even just a waterproof phone like the Galaxy Note 9, which has good speakers already. Instead, it's a more personal experience, obviously, because you're just sort of insulating yourself into the music or the podcast or the audiobook that you might be listening to during that session. But again, that's the reason why I use these for a specific purpose, and this is smaller than a Bluetooth speaker, so I actually kind of enjoy having this on hand as a secondary pair of earphones, and I put them on when I'm in certain situations like the one you just saw today. But the issues that I have with the xFyro XS2 in particular are going to be remedied, or at least addressed, in an upcoming version of their earphones called the Aria. Here, you can take a look at the page right now. The Aria clearly have those wingtips that I was talking about built into the body of the earbuds, and that should mean that they'll stay in for longer, or at least they're not going to pop out as easily. And then from there are probably going to be some extra controls along with Bluetooth 5.0, which should improve the connectivity. So I'm really excited for the xFyro Aria, and I would say that you should probably wait for that one to come to market if you are looking for a pair of earbuds like this for not only a situation where water is involved, but also for more casual situations where you need those extra features. So chalk it up to the XS2 being a wonderful example of a 1.0 device, and you can look forward to what 2.0 will bring. Hopefully we'll see waterproofing make it into even more truly wireless earbuds, so you can use them in more situations than on the plane, in casual use, or even just running around on the streets of San Francisco. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and call it on this one. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to enjoy your tea, everybody.